everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Josh Zodiac Podcast, the best wrestling podcast you've never heard of. This is the podcast that really thought there would be a lot of unclean matches in this show, but there weren't. We will talk about that momentarily. First, let me introduce my guests. First, the repeat movie viewer, the Psycho Nerd. You know all the shit that he does. Of course, he is the Psycho Nerd. And a newcomer to the show, and I'm happy to have him on. We were going to have him on for SummerSlam. We are still going to do that, but because Night of Champions was on a different time, and he's in Ireland, we thought we'd have him on this time. So, Darryl O'Connor from the Wrestling Rewind. Glad to have you on the show. I know we've been doing audio only on your show. Over here, we do the video. I know it's a little bit different, but same concept. I want to say this right now, and Darren and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. We have been in a Cody coma, and we are finally awake. Oh, my God. Oh, I thought it would never end.
Very happy that it's done.
Yeah, I'll start with you, Darren. What are your initial thoughts of the show in general?
Oh, the show was surprisingly good. I mean, we've been talking about it on the Rewind for a while. It was kind of up in the air up until it wasn't really. And as I was watching the show, I found myself enjoying it more and more. And I think, look, we got like one of the most consistently solid shows of the entire year right here.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Psycho, anything you want to add to that?
I had so much fun watching this show personally. I think I had more fun with this show, especially during the main event, than I did through most of WrestleMania, and that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was actually, during the main event, I was excited, I was pumped, and I actually yelled after the match was over. I haven't done that in so long, and I missed those days of just unrelentless excitement during a wrestling match. I don't get that very often these days.
I will say that I was in a TikTok live viewing of the show, watching it on my computer and, of course, on the live, and there was an argument that happened prior to the main event, is that be creative or lack of creative, as we've been saying before, that they take the easy road. They don't take the gambles. And I think what happened in the main event was a safe gamble. I also think what happened with the men's final, they could have gone either way on that, and that would have been okay either way. But I think the route that they went was the right decision. And I have theories about that, but we'll get to that. We're going to first talk about the men's King of the Ring final. We have main event Jey Uso versus the ruler, Obafemi. Everything is advertised. And Psycho, I know you take notes. What did you think of this match?
Well, you know what? It was better than I thought it was going to be, considering that it's Jey Uso. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him. We've said before on the channel that he's a bit of a one-trick pony. And you know what? Right off the bat, this was a proverbial David and Goliath situation going on here. And I was thoroughly impressed several times. Jey tries to get an advantage, but Obi just shut that shit down several times.
Love him or hate
him.
He's not Obi-Wan, he's Oba. I do it too, don't feel bad.
It's called a slip of the tongue. It's a slip of the tongue. Come on now. I'm just now getting my coffee. Give me a break. My mind is still blown. But anyway, love him or hate him, I have to give some credit to Jey for his effort in this match. It wasn't a squash match. I would have expected that from the get-go, but it most certainly was not a squash match. So better than I expected.
Darren, anything you want to add to that? Your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. Look, this could have went either way as well. I was surprised how clean a lot of these matches were throughout the night. We didn't really have as many run-ins as I thought. And where we did have them, I don't think anybody expected that. So it was a safe bet. It was the right decision. I think that Jey Uso being king would have been ridiculous. Obafemi is their star. One thing on this, I think using the King of the Ring like this is the right way to do it. They've now crowned this guy as the heir apparent. Yep. It was the right choice all across the board.
I know when we were doing our predictions yesterday, I know I'd said I thought it would be Jey Uso and they would do the whole Batista evolution route, and he would take his place at the head of the table. But with Obafemi winning in, I have a new theory I want to share with both you gentlemen. And we didn't get a Brock Lesnar interference, which I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay that didn't happen. But here's my thought process. I think Oba is going to pull double duty at SummerSlam. Here's my theory. Brock Lesnar is going to call him out, say, you know, I want you, I want it. We want the rubber match. We want it to happen, but there needs to be a stipulation. Brock is going to say, I'll tell you what, if I win, I get your number one contender shot at SummerSlam. But if I lose, you get my career. And he officially retires Brock. So night one, Oba versus Brock. Oba gets over. Night 2, Oba is going to face Roman Reigns and take his seat as the new champion.
Okay, so your theory is that you turn it into a WrestleMania 10 Bret Hart situation where they would wrestle in the beginning in a match that's non-title related, so to speak, and then he goes on to win the title, basically.
You see, this is why I have him on the show, because he's an unparalleled encyclopedia of knowledge that I do not have.
Only on the old school stuff, dude. Anything that's gone on in the last 15 years, once Roman Reigns hits the scene, my mind just goes, Sorry.
No, and I get that. But
and in case you didn't know, sir, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan, just so you know that going on.
No. Well, not many people are, but that we don't talk about that. Now,
what could happen here is I think that's a safe bet. They could also do the other thing as well, where Brock wins the title from Roman Reigns, and they do it that way, or they do a triple threat. But there's a couple of things they could do. WWE are a big fan of doing the safe bets and doing the safe twists. But I think to sell more tickets, I think you definitely want Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar career on the line, night 1, and then the title match being night 2. That makes sense to me, and I hope they do that, because that would be actually really cool. But you can never count out WWE to shoot themselves in the foot.
No. And not only that, but if they do a triple threat, it kind of takes away the prestige of the King of the Ring tournament in general, because we talked about that with the Rumble earlier in the year. Like, they could just put a triple threat. I'm like, well, it takes away the prestige of trying to win the Rumble. Now you're going to give it to somebody else.
Yes,
a triple threat. So it kind of takes away that prestige of that. So if they're smart, it'll be just Oba won on night 1 and Oba on night 2, and he comes out the victor in Minnesota. Because again, they're in Minnesota, and Brock is from Minnesota. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be on a match or have a match at that show.
Slaying 2 dragons as well. Like after that, if we did win those 2, he's your guy.
Agreed. Now, before the start of the Liv Morgan Io Sky Women's Queen of the Ring match, Danhausen comes out, does what he does. Hey, I'm Danhausen. I'm out here to promote nothing, but I'm here to do this. And Liv comes out and says, hey, you took a bunch of our money and we want payment. And she freaking just pushes, or I think she pushed or slapped him. I forget what she did. And then he's like, oh, really? Wow, you are cursed. And when he did that, I went, oh no, he was winning.
She's losing.
Like almost immediately, I knew that she was losing that match. So therefore, we will talk about Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, the finals for the Queen of the Ring tournament. Dara, your thoughts on this match?
I love the way they did this. Again, we said there was going to be some shenanigans. We just didn't really know where they were going to be. This is how you do it. Like, Danhausen coming out really made no sense until it did.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this. We said there was going to be some tension from the Judgment Day, but it's funny where it came from. It came from Danhausen. I really like this. I thought the setup was fun. The crowd seemed super into it. It got Danhausen even more over. And I mean, the right decision was made. Like, Io Sky deserved to win it. It sets up that kind of return match at SummerSlam, and it's really good. Like, this is what you want. You want these pay-per-views to tie in together and set up the bigger show, and this is perfect.
Psycho Nerd, anything you want to add to that?
I think this is probably going to be my favorite match of the night. I thought it was a pretty well done match. I mean, as far as like a few things that stood out, I do enjoy Io using some little kids in the crowd, using her to get on the guardrail before she jumped on to Liv. She really made those kids night. So nice touch there as far as I'm concerned. That was an ugly Boston Crab that Liv put on her for, it was only like a couple of seconds, but it looked really ugly until it got turned over. So what else we got? You know what? I really have to give credit to Liv for going after Io's knee. The moment her knee, it was noticeable that she was having trouble with it, she went on the attack immediately. That's just smart as far as I'm concerned. You always have to go for the weakness. So
agreed. Yeah.
And beautiful finish from Io with Spanish Fly and then the over the moonsault. That was a beautiful freaking finish for the match.
I couldn't agree more. And the fact that she won clean, again, we didn't get any interference from the Judgment Day, which is what I was predicting was going to happen. There'd be some sort of interference, but I was thinking that it would happen to where the Judgment Day cost Liv the match, and therefore the breakdown of the Judgment Day would begin. But with that being said, with Io winning and Liv Morgan losing, this still sets up like, well, whoa, why are you the leader if you can't even beat Io Sky? And Liv hasn't even had a title defense yet, not one. And this doesn't
And
count as a
see-
title defense because she wasn't defending the title.
No, obviously
So-
not. But I mean, and that's just ridiculous. That's another thing about the company nowadays that I just can't get behind. How you have champions, they're not defending them. They were back in the old days during the Attitude Era. You had champions defending their belts damn near on a weekly freaking basis, and now it's like it's the 70s all over again. Oh, I win my belt 3 months later. Oh, I'm still the champion. How many times you defended it? What the hell? Makes
And
no
not
sense
just
to me.
that, but you got to think though, this is called Night of Champions, and there was only what 2 titles that were defended out of
Yeah,
100 million that we have in the company. So
about
I mean,
11, I think.
yeah, some weird number like that.
Yeah, I think it's 11, but that's pretty pathetic. But whatever.
Oh, agreed. And but again, the fact that Liv lost clean, that definitely is going to put some shatters in the foundation of the Judgment Day. Well, can't wait for Raw to come down and see what happens. Prior to the main event, I was going to say this was the match of the night, but we have Seth Rollins. Oh, I'm sorry. He just texted me. I didn't say his name right. Seth freaking Rollins versus Braun Breaker inside a steel cage. My. And this is also their rubber match too, because they've gone 1-1 as well. So, Psycho, I'll start with you. What did you think of this particular match?
I love the stare down from the beginning. This is a staring before a match that's done correctly, where you don't spend 15 hours staring at each other before you finally start the match. I hate that. But nice little stare down. Beautiful Frankensteiner onto the chair, even though it kind of hurt my back watching that. It's hard to watch. And personally, I don't know about you guys, I always get nervous when the superstars get on top of the cage. It makes me really, it gives me PTSD from the King of the Ring 1998, Undertaker and Mankind. Like, don't go on the top of the cage, guys. It never works out well for anybody. Just saying. Superplex from the top of the cage onto, I believe it was a table, if I remember correctly. Ow. And you know what? That crimson mask that Braun had after that happened, it made him look more menacing than he already looks. Seriously.
It looked like face paint at one point too.
I don't know. Yeah, probably does. Yeah, it kind of did a little bit. And I was really surprised. I didn't call Braun kicking out of the pedigree and the curb stomp, but the fact that he finished him with a curb stomp from the middle rope, damn. I mean, this was a very ferocious weapons laid match. Like this was a cage match done correctly, as far as I'm concerned.
Couldn't agree more. Darren, anything you want to add to that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I think all the main points were made there. This is when the pay-per-view really turned for me. And I was like, okay, they're not just going to do the bare basics here. They're actually going to go out and work. Anytime I see Seth Rollins in these matches, it's kind of like it can go either way. You can either have probably one of the matches of the night, or you can have Hell in a Cell 2019. You know, it's you don't really know what way it's going to go. I love the start of this again with all the weapons just been thrown out. We're like, right, we're actually going to go for it. I thought it was a really nice touch. And look, there were some great spots in this. Of course, you called out the top rope superplex, the spear where Braun sent Seth Rollins through time was unbelievable. You know, it really was a phenomenal match. Definitely, look, these Saudi Arabia shows started off really, really badly. And now they've, some years, actually beaten WrestleMania. This was a genuinely better show than WrestleMania. And if you have like one of the best cage matches in the past couple of years from WWE, fair play to both of them. Braun Breaker is a star. He's the future. And Seth Rollins made him look like $1 million, even in defeat, which is always a really cool touch.
Now, here's the question that was brought up in the live. Did the right person win this match? Should Braun Breaker win this match?
Absolutely, yeah. Seth Rollins needed it. Braun didn't.
See, there was a disagreement that, Braun's the newer guy. He should get the win. I'm like, Braun didn't look weak in this match.
He's also the heel.
He's the bad guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a bigger story going on here where Seth is slowly going through all members of that faction. So now Braun was the last guy in line. So from a storytelling standpoint, I think it was the right choice. Personally.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other way to do it. They're too far into this feud now at this point. Seth Rollins wouldn't have got his win back. No, Braun had to lose. Look, guys, Braun isn't a face yet. We'll have loads of times to cheer him. There'll be loads of times, and you'll be sick of cheering him. Just give it a bit of time, okay?
Yeah, they're not trying to be like Brock or Cena. They want to let him cook, let him do what he does, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And he's just such a great talent, and he comes from such a wrestling pedigree from the Steiner brothers, you know. I mean, just give him time, and I guarantee he'll be there.
Can I ask a question, actually? Did you guys have audio issues throughout this show? I noticed it really bad during this match.
I'm not going to lie to you. When I watched the show, I just hit mute and just watch it. Cause
That's fair. The commentary was really bad, so I don't actually surprise. I'm not really gonna judge you on that, but like it was dropping out for me anyway when I was watching it on Netflix.
I was hearing that people were having that same issue on the ESPN app where the audio kept screwing up.
Really?
So
yeah, it was really, really bad. But this match, half of it was like inaudible, which is better or worse depending on.
Well, it depends.
If
you're not a fan of Michael Cole, then obviously it's a win. But if you're a fan of Corey Graves, it's kind of a loss. So you just got to take them as you can get them.
For sure.
No,
for sure.
I didn't have any audio issues on my end or anything. The only thing I had a problem with was for some reason it kept trying to kick me out for the first about half an hour or so. Like I told him, I was like, I'm going to be a little behind once the show is over. But the only time there was an audio was when it happened to the commentators at the end. So that's weird that it was giving trouble for people. That's actually interesting as hell.
When I did listen, like the first match, I had the commentary on, and Michael Cole sounded like he was way back here talking.
Yeah, that was happening a lot. Yeah.
As someone who, and those of us that do podcasts and do recordings, I'm sitting there going, there's an audio issue because that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like he normally does. It sounded very distant.
Yeah.
And so
it was weird.
I've never actually talking like this half the time, So
yeah, I've never heard that before from WWE commentary. Like even though the content is usually terrible, you can usually hear it.
I will say you talked about the Saudi crowd, and we saw this at the Rumble earlier in the year, and we saw it again tonight. The Saudi crowd, they just don't have the same energy as the European crowds have. The European crowds are loud. They take over the show. The Saudi people are like, it's like, Monty Python, the Holy Grail. We were there and there was much rejoicing. It's just very inaudible commentary from the crowd. And I don't know if that's just the way they are over there. Or
I don't know, man. They were pretty fucking loud when Oba came out. Like hella loud. But then I wonder how much of that is WWE playing it on the speakers versus the crowd. Because there's so many times where I'll hear that kind of stuff, and you'll look at the people in the crowd and nobody's mouths are moving, and I'm like,
They're like this. They're like, there's a match on. I should put my phone down.
Oops. I think you can see the crowd there when they know what they know, right? Like I think that's the problem when they know the stars, and that was the problem with the WWE when they went over initially, and why the shows are so bad. It's because right, we can dig up Shawn Michaels, let's throw him out there. Now they're obviously trying to not do that and have newer stars that they're bringing in. And look, at certain points, it probably was the hairdryer pop, but at other points, the crowd were super into it. I mean, when Sami Zayn came out, I know it was a cheap pop, but they really, really like Sami Zayn. So I think they just choose who they want to engage with, which is fair.
Fine.
But
and that's fine.
Look, speaking as someone in European crowds or in Europe, they're just happy to be there because they don't get wrestling. That's the truth of it, right?
And I know you and I have talked about that on the Wrestling Rewind. It's like, the crowds in America are like, yeah, we're freaking here. We don't care. But the crowds in Europe are like, yeah, they're here. Let's freaking blow the place up. Not literally, but you know what I mean. It's just
not only are they here, but oh my god, it's at 7 p.m. Not 3 in the morning.
Not 3 in the morning. Yeah, yeah. That's a real thing over there.
Yeah, for sure. When every show is at 1 a.m. and finishes at 4 a.m., the fact you get to see it at your own time zone, no wonder they're ecstatic because they actually get to enjoy it, right? So that's why it's a bit more of an event when it goes to Europe. In Saudi Arabia, it'll get there eventually, but they still have the guys that they like and the girls that they like. But in Europe, it's just kind of like, we know we're not going to get this much. It is an event for us. And I think that's the mindset different,
It's funny you say that.
I agree with that.
When they had I think it was the chamber match, I think it was last year in Australia, and it was super early here, and people in America were like, what the hell? I got to get up at 6 in the morning. And people in Europe are going, really? You're bitching about that? Like,
yeah.
This is the first time you've had to get up early for a show. We do it every freaking week.
That's pretty valid,
right?
Actually.
It's funny because I know this is a wrestling podcast, but the World Cup at the moment is obviously in the US, right?
Yeah.
And Europeans are finally starting to experience what it's like being a wrestling fan your entire life in Europe, because all the games are like 9, they go on at 1, 2, 3. And it's like, I mean, that's called being a wrestling fan since you're 8 years old if you live in Ireland or the UK. So it's pretty funny.
That's funny. The next match, which for me was the bathroom break match, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints for the U.S. Championship. I honestly thought Ricky Saints was going to go over in this one, but I'm not surprised that Trick won. Psycho, I'll start with you. What did you think of this match?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, I felt like it was pretty quick because unfortunately I was getting messaged like left and right during this match. So unfortunately my attention was not completely on it. I was literally on my phone. The next thing I know, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Okay, what the hell? But I mean, it was, what little bit I got to see, it looked like a lot of fun. Trick really showing some dominance throughout the match. And I haven't been watching the weekly shows. Is he doing the bookend on a regular? Is that like a regular thing? Or is that just like a random nod that he was doing for Booker T?
I've never really noticed, to be honest with you. I don't really get to watch
because
he all the time, so.
Yeah, because he kind of did it twice throughout the match. He did it one time, then he tried it again, but it didn't work. But I was like, okay, so you're doing a little nod to Booker T, and that's a little touch
No,
there.
actually, he's doing a nod to The Rock, sir.
Bookend. Well, no, because bookend was Booker T. Come on,
was The Rock bottom, was it not?
It was. It was kind of when I say bookend, I'm saying Booker T. If I say rock bottom, I mean The Rock. Get it straight, sir. I'm sure even he will agree with me on that one.
All right,
maybe.
fine.
I don't know. But it was okay for what it was, although his little friend, Trick's little friend, getting ejected in the beginning, what's his name, Ricky, using the Eddie Guerrero special to kind of get him ejected. Come on, you have to appreciate that for what it is. And you have to also, you have to acknowledge the stupidity of the referee. Like, he's acting like he got hit, but he hit the freaking steel steps. It's like, I don't know what you're thinking there, ref, but hitting a steel step, steel getting hit versus a human flesh does not sound the same. But that's just me. I digress.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was disappointed in this match. It was where it's what this pay-per-view could have been, where, you know, Trick Williams is a great talent. Ricky Saints is a good talent as well. We called it right, at least. The Trick was going to retain. Didn't really make sense to do that win there. But yeah, look, it's definitely, if you're going to miss one of these matches, it's this one, or to be honest with you, like the main event, I wasn't a big fan of. I know we'll get there. I enjoyed this match more than the main event because I don't hate the people in it. But like, to be honest with you, it was a very poor match.
I kind of admire the honesty, though.
You kind of have to. You really have to.
You really do.
If you're not invested, you're not invested. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Since we're talking about U.S. titles, we'll jump to the women's side in the match they threw together like a week and a half ago. Just Jade Cargill getting yet another title shot. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the women's U.S. title. I'm going to say I was not invested in this match until about halfway through it when everything went down. So, Darryl, I'll start with you. What your thoughts on this match?
Jade gets worse every week.
Yeah.
And look, it's awful to say. We talked about it last night at the show. Every week she gets worse, and this is another case of it. She's just terrible. But that being said, Stratton is great. She really is. She carried this match, which is again wild to say. I'll be honest with you. But the shenanigans as well made this really, really fun. I think they saved what could have been truly terrible. And maybe WWE have figured out what everyone else has figured out, that Jade isn't what they think she is, but she still has a lot of value. Again, we said last night, she has the look, she has everything you need except promo talent and in the ring. So this is how they're going to use her. I'm okay with it.
Agreed. Psycho, anything you want to add to that?
I don't know. I mean, because my eyes were really fixed on Jade throughout the match. Like we have talked many times about how we feel like maybe she should have gone to NXT. Maybe she should have taken a little bit of time to really develop herself before going to the main roster. So my eyes were on her. I felt like for the first couple of minutes that they were both pretty in sync with each other. And I think Jade did a decent job in the beginning. But then at some point she caught Tiffy on her shoulders and did, I don't know what move she was trying to go for. I think it was like a Samoan drop or something, but she kind of botched it, and it kind of took me out of what she was doing from that point going forward. It's like, there it is. It's like you had me and then you lost me. It's like, damn it all. But otherwise, this wasn't a bad match. I thought it was a nice reversal on Jada by Tiffy at some point. That was a nice little touch as far as I'm concerned. But I was expecting some kind of interference, but I forgot. Because again, I don't watch the weekly shows, so I kind of have to catch the highlights. I expected her cronies to show up. That didn't surprise me, but I forgot about Chelsea Green has been hanging out with her. So when she showed up, I was like, oh, it's Chelsea, yay. And then when Charlotte showed up, I was like, oh, that's right. There's been some shit going on there too. So you know what? I was pretty satisfied with the way the match played out. So that was a nice equalizer to Jade's cronies, which I still do not understand, nor do I agree that they ended up siding with her. It made no freaking sense when they did it, and it still makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, it's the old expression, if you can't beat them, join them. So why not? But this match served a different purpose. And I want to say Tiffany Stratton has the prettiest moonsault in the company right now. I know Io has a pretty one, but Tiffany, it's like she's just floating on air. It's just beautiful to watch. But
I love the way she does it.
This match served a different purpose. This match is going to set up Jade versus Charlotte at SummerSlam. That's what this match was for. This is long-term storytelling. 100%. And this is a match that people have been wanting for a while, and they're finally probably going to get it at SummerSlam in Minnesota. And lucky Dara down there will be able to watch it live because he'll be there.
Absolutely.
Lucky bastard.
Man,
Yeah,
damn.
it's okay. I was at WrestleMania 32. It's as we've discussed, is not one of the best ones, but I loved it because I was there.
Oh, well,
But
I went to one of the best ones at 17. Yeah. Then I went to 25, and it was all right. What's that?
No, WrestleMania 2000 was the best one because I was there at that one too.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's a good
Worst
one
main
too.
event ever. I mean,
It was an
McMahon in every corner. Are you kidding me right now?
No. Nice way to take the focus off the competitors there, guys. But
Yeah,
whatever.
big time.
The hardcore battle royale is fun though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Moving on to the main event, and this is one that, looking on paper with everything that's been going on, and I think it was a week ago, we had Gunther versus Cody with Sammy as the special referee. All hell broke loose. Sammy got involved, put his hands on, and so what does Nick Aldis do? He's like, you know what? I'm going to put you in the main event at Night of Champions against Gunther and Cody for the title. I'm like, you're going to reward the man for being a douchebag and getting involved in the match. That's Steiner math right there is what that is. So, but we have Gunther versus Sammy versus Cody for the undisputed champion. This did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I know the Psycho was a little behind, and I got the text when he was done. Wow, holy shit! And in the live, we were all like a couple of seconds behind each other in the viewing. And when I heard the reaction, I'm like, that's not a Cody Rhodes winning reaction because nobody in this live likes Cody. So I know on the Wrestling Rewind, I've coined the phrase the Cody coma. Hashtag Cody coma. We've been talking about it. It's there. And then we talked about at the very beginning. I felt like when Cody got pinned in this match, it felt like the end of Jedi, where everybody's celebrating. I could have sworn I heard a Gungan saying, "We are free." It's just the reign of terror is over. I'll start with you, Dara. What did you think of this match and everything that it entailed?
I hate Cody Rhodes and I hate Sami Zayn. Like, legitimately, right?
Don't hold back, bro. Tell us how you really feel, man.
Oh, sugarcoat that.
Like, what the fuck? I can't stand Cody and I can't stand Sami Zayn. Like it really is dependent on which day of which one I hate more, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I would have to say it's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
Yep, 100%.
So the fact that Sammy won, I was like, okay, like, thank Christ for that. But I will say they set it up right, whereas like they're like, oh, it's the 10th time. Look, if Sammy didn't win this 11 times, not winning, that's pretty fucking pathetic, right? Like
that's enough at that point,
right?
Yeah.
But he came out. He was wearing the garb. He was, really big with the local fans. So it was pretty obvious that's what they were going to do. He was their guy. I think I said it last night on the show. Every time that they go to Saudi Arabia, Sami Zayn is the local guy. He is the hometown hero. He's who they put, who they're going to showcase, right?
Yep.
Until they get someone from the area, who's who they're going to put forward. And it's about time. I mean, Sammy did need to get the win. I liked him when he was El Generico. I think he had much more range. But him doing this role actually works for WWE when you think about it. The WrestleMania is going to be there next year. It kind of gives him something to do as well. Like, what else is he going to do? Nothing, right? Cody winning made no sense. He's gone off to do the Street Fighter thing, but also that's run its course now. Why I'm interested in this is, and I'll throw this back to you now in a second, is that Cody being gone opens up this vacuum. And it also means that Sami Zayn can be a face in Saudi Arabia and kind of a heel everywhere else.
Yep.
It's a different Sami Zayn. And I think that's really, really interesting. Despite the fact that I do genuinely dislike everything about him as in wrestling and everything about Cody Rhodes' current presentation, I find this version of Sami Zayn very, very interesting and has a lot of scope to it. So I'm actually genuinely excited.
Psycho, anything you want to add to that?
Well, a few things, actually. First off, with him winning, yes, I agree. I think they only let him win because it was the Saudi Arabia crowd. I feel like if this PLE happened anywhere else, it probably wouldn't have gone down that way. And I'm not taking anything away from Sammy. I mean, I'm a so fan of Sammy these days, but you know what? He's in a place where he's like a hometown hero, even though I don't think he's from there. He's from Canada, as I recall. So, but you know what? Let him have his moment in the limelight. Let him enjoy it. That's fine and dandy. But from what I understand, there's been talk about Kevin Owens coming back and now Sammy's the champion. So you know what? If WWE was smart, they would capitalize on this possibility down the road. But that's all I'm going to say about that. As far as the match, wow. This was a very hard-hitting, fast-paced, and you know how much I love triple threat matches if they're done correctly.
Yep.
All right. Now, right off the bat, there was a lot of back and forth going on, a lot of hard hitting, as I said, from the get-go. Sammy, throughout the match, at least for a while, he kind of felt like the equivalent of, and I think what's his name? Corey actually coined the phrase "a cockroach," and that's what he felt like, because he was constantly getting like thrown out of the ring or hit or whatever, while Gunther and Cody were kind of holding down the fort. But for me, the best triple threat matches are when you have different situations where one person is outside the ring recovering and two people are wrestling, getting a chance to highlight and take the spotlight, and it changes throughout the match. For me, that's a great triple threat, and I fucking love that. And we definitely got that in this match. I really love the beautiful reversal that Sammy did at one point into a sunset flip.
Yeah.
Did you catch that one?
I did.
It almost looked like a Mexican destroyer a little bit.
I forgot to tell Dara that we can actually cuss on the show because we can't cuss on the Wrestling Rewind. Well, we can cuss here. I do not edit the cussing out.
I did not know that. Okay. Well, if I ever get invited, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, because the Wrestling Rewind is not a radio show in Ireland, and they have similar cussing rules that we have here. So
that makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. And there was some nice work on the tables on the outside. Both tables got taken out towards the end of the match. Now, if I'm gonna be honest here, I wanted Gunther to win. The only reason why I picked Sammy in my predictions is because they were in Saudi Arabia. I was like, you know what? He probably won't win it, but if he's gonna win it anywhere, it's gonna be here. That was my mentality. So yeah, let him enjoy the win. Let him have it, I guess. To each their own.
And I agree. This, and up until the steel cage match, this match had me hooked the entire time. There again, triple threat matches and even fatal four ways, if they're done right, they can be amazing, but if they're not done right, they can be just pieces of shit. And this one did not disappoint. The fact that Cody did a double Cody cutter on both these men, and then Gunther, you see just roll out of the ring. He's like, I'm done. I'm collecting my paycheck at the end of the day. And then we have the whole Sammy Cody thing. And I think the right man got pinned, because if you pin Gunther, then Cody can bitch and say, oh, you didn't beat me, you beat Gunther. But the fact that Sammy pinned the champion, Cody cannot complain. He cannot sit there and say, oh, well, he didn't beat me. No, he freaking pinned you 1, 2, 3, and he got the win. And I do want to ask, I'll start with you, Psycho, which match to you is the match of the night?
See, because I said before that I thought the EO versus Liv, at the time, that was my favorite match. But in terms of just pure excitement throughout the entire match, I got to go with the main event. This is one of the better main events I've seen in a while. And I forgot to mention, I can't believe that Sammy won with a freaking roll-up.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming at all. I thought he was going to kick out, but he didn't. I was actually happy the old man wasn't in his room. He was out in the garage, because I was like screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm like, oh, he probably thinks I'm throwing a fit on a video game.
Yeah,
or something.
Probably. And it's funny because Simon Miller talks about the most devastating move in wrestling history, the surprise roll-up. So it's kind of funny that you say that. What about you, Darren? What was a match for the night for you?
Yeah, like as I said, the main event, I just wanted them all to have a bad time. That was it, So I was just happy it was over. But other people probably have a different view on it and probably really liked it. But for me, I was just, look, if I had been there, I would have left to beat the traffic.
Damn.
But that being said, I really, really enjoyed the cage match. I enjoy cage matches when they're done correctly, when they're done well. Seth looks phenomenal. Braun's an absolute star in this. For me, that's the match of the night. But I did really like the Io Sky Liv Morgan match. Liv Morgan has gone up huge in my own evaluation.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, this whole show was brilliant. So, I mean, it's worth watching if you haven't seen it yet at all. But yeah, for me, they're the two matches tonight, like joined together.
I will say I was worried about the Jey Uso Oba family match, because we really haven't seen Oba in a match longer than 5 minutes. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh no, is this going to be one of those where it's real quick, where Brock comes out, interferes, or something happens? And this was actually a decent match. I was actually quite impressed. And I didn't watch Oba Femi in NXT, so I do not know what he's capable of doing. So I was actually happily impressed by that. But for me, definitely the cage match is what told the biggest story for me, that and of course the Tiffany Stratton match. But this is pretty much the end. I'm hoping this is the end of Seth Rollins going after the Vision. I hope he goes on to bigger, better things. Maybe he goes after Roman. Maybe he goes after Punk when Punk comes back, whenever that may be. Although if you talk to the IWC, CM Punk is bulking up to go to AEW. So if you talk to them, they're going to have a whole different opinion about that. We've talked about that before too. So, but I know, Darry, you've never been on the show before. What we do on the reviews is we give letter grades. So I'm going to start with you. What letter grade are you going to give this show?
I'm going to give it a B+, and the only reason why it gets a B+ is because I had to watch Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn.
Just so you know, everybody, he does not like Cody. If it hadn't come across, he does not like Cody Rhodes.
Really? Wow, I must have missed that.
It didn't come off in translation.
Not at all.
Psycho, what is your letter grade of the show?
I mean, this is probably just the fact that the show just ended and I haven't, it hasn't really, I haven't winded down completely yet. But I'm going to give it an A-. It was a pretty good show all around. The only thing that brought it down for me were the occasional botches from Jay, because it's like she had me and then she lost me. That was a real bummer. And what was the other thing? I forgot the other thing that was bringing it down for me. But otherwise, pretty solid freaking show from start to. Oh, the fact that I wasn't completely into the trick match, but it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention on purpose. It was just that my freaking my phone was blowing up, and it's like, stop it! I can't rewind it. Stop it! Leave me alone.
You can. Actually, you can.
Well, I mean, you can't. I every time, dude. Since I already had trouble during the first 30 minutes, I don't want to risk it. At that point, it's like
that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to risk it, but I'll go back and rewatch it later and give an honest thought on it.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
Otherwise, solid show. I was invested in every single match, even the opening match, which I was thoroughly surprised by.
Yeah,
this is one of the better shows. Yeah, this is one of the better shows I have seen them put out in a while, and I'm not even kidding. I was totally invested in this show.
No, legitimately better than WrestleMania. Easy.
100%.
I actually agree with that. I very much agree with that.
Now, before I give my letter grade, I do want to say a couple of things, and we talked about this last night. I thought Alba versus Jay, there'd be interference. Didn't happen. I thought Liv Morgan versus Io, there'd be interference. Didn't happen. Seth Rollins versus Braun, I thought there'd be a return of Bronson Reed. Didn't happen. I thought there would be 3 interferences or some sort, and the one that I didn't even think about is the one that got the interference. So I was actually delighted at the way this turned, and I'm okay with being wrong, but it needs to be wrong to where it makes me happy. So Alba winning, Io winning, and they already announced it on the show. We already have a match for SummerSlam, Io versus Liv, because Io was like, Liv, I'll see you at SummerSlam, and I'm like, did she just call her shot? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. She just called her shot. Yeah.
She called her shot, and more power to her. But you do know there's going to be some shenanigans with the Judgment Day and Io, and I hope to God they don't involve Rhea in this. I think she needs to do this on her own. We might get a return of Asuka, maybe. I don't know. This is too early to tell at this point. That'd be nice. But with the exception of the Trick Williams match, which again I was not 100% invested in, I love watching Trick Williams wrestle. It's Ricky Saints. I'm just not invested in his character. He's just kind of bland. He's
not fully there yet.
No, he's not
fully there yet. No,
he's a taco without hot sauce.
Yeah, it will happen though. It will happen. Him and Trick.
I'm sure it will.
The problem with him and Trick being together is what Trick Williams does is what Ricky Saints is trying to do. Yeah. So it's just like, it's too similar, but having those guys have some time apart will be really, really good, which is why I think it's interesting now with this shake-up at the card. Some people are going to go up, some people are going to go down. I don't think we'll run into that problem again. But Trick and Ricky need to stay miles away from each other. That's the problem.
Agreed. And again, I'm sure Ricky there are people that love him, and I love them for loving him. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day. Just he needs to cook. He's not quite there yet. But with that being said, Psycho gave it an A+. Derek gives it a B+. I am also going to give it a B+. Not a perfect card, but you know what? It's the best we've seen in a while. And I mean a while. So
actually, that was an A- I gave it, sir. A-.
Oh, that's A+. I meant A-.
You said it. Yeah, it's all good.
Are you going to... You took the red pen and put a cross in between it like you do when you were kids. Like, oh, that's an A-. Nope, that's an A+. Good job.
And how many of our predictions were right or wrong, by the way?
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even look at them. I'm not even going to lie to you. Because here's my take on that. And I didn't even do a predictions video like I normally do. I had an epiphany right before I went to bed last night. It's like fantasy football. I used to love playing fantasy football, but it took away the fun of watching the sport because being a fan of the team that I like. So I stopped doing fantasy football. And I enjoyed watching it more because I wasn't trying to, that player is playing against my team. So I hope he gets a lot of points, but I hope he loses. It's fantasy football is very weird that way. Same with this here. I just want to watch the show and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck about my picks, or, y'all have your favorites, and I'm totally about that. But I'm like, I don't really, I'll do them for prediction shows. I'll do them, but I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, well, I did horrible, at least I don't do the goose egg. I did that one freaking show where I had you just could not recover from that. That was horrible.
Yeah, one show he got every single one of them wrong.
It looked like the USA soccer team versus Turkey, just that last minute goal. It's like, damn you. He made a World Cup reference. And he doesn't even watch soccer or football, depending on where you live.
Yeah, exactly.
Soccer.
But
soccer.
Yeah, well, there are people here that it's football. I'm like, whatever. It's soccer. I don't care. I'm an American. I don't care. It is what it is. You can call it whatever you want.
We're kicking a ball. That's sport.
Yeah. But with that being said, this will conclude our review of Night of Champions 2026. Psycho Nerd, promote yo shit.
Well, you can only find the Psycho Nerd over here on the Zodiac's channel doing 2 different podcasts between this and the Real Movie Critics. He's been pretty AWOL on the channel as of late, but that's okay. He'll make a return sooner or later. But on my channel, I've been very busy as of late. I have had three new videos put out. I have a new Pete's House video that has already been put on a few days ago, and I'm actually editing a new one as we speak. I did the Jackass films. Thank you very much. My review for Supergirl has just been put out yesterday, and I put out a video talking about what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months leading into my favorite time of the year, which is Fantastic Fest. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, make sure you give his channel the follow. How many subs are you sitting at right now?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
30. It actually went up again, 37.
Well, let's get him to 45, y'all. Let's get him up to 45. I'll have the link to his show down below. Daryl O'Connor, promote yo shit.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, guys. But thanks so much for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been super fun. And thank you to everybody who's listening. We do appreciate that a great deal. If you want to listen to more of me and my stuff, you can go over to nerdtoknowmedia.com or thewrestlingrewind.com. There's a bunch of links there that will take you to our channel, which is on Nerd to Know Media, and then there's Nerd Show, and then there's also the Wrestling Show. So we do 2 shows a week and a bunch of other content over on YouTube. So yeah, if you want to follow that, type in nerdtoknowmedia.com or Nerd to Know Media on YouTube and give us a follow. That would be awesome.
Yes, and again, I'll have the links to both of their shows down below. And of course, for Real Zodiac Productions, the Psycho Nerd already said this, DJ Zodiac podcast, which we have right now, and of course the Real Movie Critics. This week we'll be doing reviews of Jackass and of course Supergirl. We may or may not have Lord Scuba on that one. We're just waiting to hear back. But once we do, and I want him on the show, he talked so much shit to Dean Cain and Zack Snyder and the Snyder monkeys that he needs to be on the show because I want to know his opinion of this movie, which I'm probably going to watch again tonight once I'm done editing the show. Because we're recording this on, literally we're recording this maybe 45 minutes after the show was over. So for that being said, for Daryl O'Connor and for the Psycho Nerd, I am DJ Zodiac. And that is the final bell for this episode. We broke down the matches, we called out the surprises, and probably cut a few promos of our own along the way. I know Dara did about Cody. Whether you agree with our takes or think we've just turned heel on you, let us know in the comments what you think. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share the podcast with your fellow members of the Wrestling Universe or the IWC. And until next time, keep your shoulders off the mat, your finishers protected, and remember, on this podcast, the conversation never taps out. We'll catch you in the next episode. Good night, everybody.
Lights go down, the tension's rising high.